The other thing that we saw with Yamaha was the factory guys had the fully new bike to test with. There's an interesting thing. We'll put up a photo here of the swing arms right now.
This was cool, right?
So,
we've talked about the swing arm already in the past, how it's this spindly little thing.
So the one that you see that has the open cutaway on the right side, that is the one that they were running toward the end of last year.
And it looks very similar to what Ducati is running on their World Superbike bike.
Yeah. So effectively what you're seeing is if you've got the frame up here, the swing arm pivot up here, and you've got the axle back here, the way that the load is transferred is through these two spars that kind of go up and then back down, right? And there's a shock mount in there and all that. But basically you're putting these two long arms, these beams that go up away from it, and a big cutaway in the center. This would give you structurally, think of a bridge for a second. This would give you a lot of vertical strength, because if you hit the rear wheel on the ground, right? If you hit a bump, let's say, the top truss member, the top little brace, would be in tension, and it would not want to be caved in. It would not want to flex. And the bottom one would be in tension. It would not want to stretch. But because of that big cutaway and how thin those spars are, when that bike is leaned on its side, it lets that swing arm have a lot of flex side to side, which helps that rear tire find grip, and it helps it turn, and it feels better. It gets better grip throughout a corner. Then the other one that you're seeing has this black carbon cover on part of it. I don't think so. One argument would be, well, that carbon cover might be to protect it from the heat from that black cover from the heat from the exhaust, because there's a little.
That wasn't at all my first thought.
There's a little pipe.
Thing.
There's the little that exits right underneath the rider's foot peg, basically.
Yeah, I don't think heat was at all a worry.
I think it is a cover for whatever is going on underneath that thing.
You think there's more going on? I was wondering if it was just an aero thing. But
could be.
You can totally sell me on the idea that there might be some other crazy little spindly things. So Honda in the early 2000s were playing with this a lot. They called it program flex.
Yep.
That a chassis that's too stiff, right? When you're on its side, you're going to end up with chatter. Your tire's going to basically bounce off the ground. And so they program flex into the swing arm and whatever, so that when you're on its side and your suspension can't really work as well, there's only so much cornering load to work the suspension, you need some sort of flex there. So that makes perfect sense to me that they're playing with that swing arm. That's totally what I saw. But I did not see that carbon fiber was hiding some other crazy little bracing. I thought it was aero. I thought it was turbulence off the tire.
Yeah, now it could, and it very well could be. It could just be a cover to smooth the airflow a little bit.
Yeah, because we saw that with the Aprilias last year, the weird little half moon things on the bottom halves of the wheels.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it is just trying to mask whatever it is that's going on underneath. Now for all I know, it could be, it's literally just a flat cover and there's nothing going on. Right. But it could be that the spars, so if you're not aware of this, we did a video a while back. If you go look, there's one that we posted. It's an excerpt, but it's just on chassis flex.
Mm-hmm.
We went into some examples, but if you go look up photos, the one thing that Yamaha's good at a lot of things. The thing that they're brilliant at is aluminum. I would argue that they're better at aluminum than anybody. There are pictures and photos that you can find, and we can see if we can't throw a few of them in here, of frames and swing arms and chassis components that Yamaha has done where the aluminum is so thin, it looks like it's wrinkled paper.
Yeah, like tinfoil.
Literally, you can see like waves in the aluminum, and it's sheet aluminum that is formed and then welded into place. It is so thin, and they have such a solid understanding of aluminum and how to deal with it that they're confident that's fine. That's totally safe. We can make this work. I think that swing arm with that carbon cover on it, my guess is the aluminum spars underneath it are so crazy thin and crazy shapes to get more of that flex that they don't even want to let everybody else know how crazy and thin those are. That's my guess, is that they're hiding what they're actually doing. Because if they know that we can, they're then going to try to figure out how are we doing it, and then they're going to learn that it's better, and then they're going to copy it.
So we'll just cover it.
So we'll just cover it entirely.
Yeah. And we have to not forget that not that long ago, Yamaha was the dominant force in MotoGP. They were known for the best handling motorcycle out there.
everybody always says, "Oh, nothing handles like those things." Right? Jack Miller got on it. It was not when he first got on the Yamaha. It was not the fastest bike, but he's like, it's the best handling bike I've ever been on.
That's saying something,
That
right?
guy's been on everything.
Yeah.